15 years ago. And since then we've been going back to Malaysia a lot. And our first trip to Sabah actually was about 18 years ago before we finished work. And I don't know why, but when I got to Sabah, I just loved the place. We were there for 1 week. We stayed at one of the resorts and we had did all the tourist things. I don't know what it was, but I was so drawn to the place. I told Jimmy, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we came here to retire one day? You know? And sometimes when we talk, like we say things like that, God hears, you know, and it came to pass. I mean, and we are really enjoying our home there in KK, and we also enjoyed doing, you know, the ministry work here in Sabah, and it's really been a joy. Yeah, so now Jimmy will tell you more about it.
Tell us how you actually started it, like how you actually want to do this project. You should share that bit how you.
That's the hard part. I was trying to say it's never been we want to do this. No,
Yeah.
It's never been like that. It's the best way I can describe it. We are walking along the way and God directed us. We were visiting Sabah and we saw there's a need. So the initial need was starting rural kindergarten, which we sponsor. So we went to visit this kindergarten that we sponsored during the second or third trip after we went back. I'm not from Sabah, no, it's we like. She's also not from Sabah. She's from Klang. I was originally from Serike, Sarawak, but I left Malaysia 50 plus years ago. Went to New Zealand, and that's how we met each other. Otherwise, we never met. And then we were here. We came from. When we finished our study in New Zealand, we went back to Malaysia for about 7-8 years. When migrated back to New Zealand before coming to Sydney, Australia, about 35 years ago now. We moved to Sydney. So it's a long journey, but going back to the story, yes, we were visiting the kindergarten that we sponsored, and one day we were just visiting, and it was raining in the afternoon. We saw the place was very poor, very conditions so bad. We thought then that we can do more than just sponsoring, you know, some money and let them go to kindergarten. On the way back, it was raining, and then we saw some children walking home, primary school children, and that time was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I thought school finished at about 1 o'clock, yeah, to 4 o'clock, still walking home. So they have a long way to walk, 2-3 hours to walk home, and it was raining, so they may have sheltered somewhere along the way. And I said, that means they haven't eaten also. I said, no, they won't have eaten. I said, wow, this is tough, man, for primary school, 7, 8, 9 years old. And the roads we were on 4-wheel drive, so, but they are walking on jungle tracks, old logging tracks. Yeah, Dennis was telling me that he was in Sabah, the logging camp, He was so wow. And then later on we found out a lot of these children, because of the struggle, they don't finish primary 6. And some of the kampongs that we visited, more than 90% of the children don't finish primary 6. If they don't finish primary 6, there's no Form 1, no Form 5, nothing. So wow, how long has this been going on? So maybe since Malaysia was formed or before that. So wow, that's more than 60 years ago, 50 odd years ago. So if we walk away and do nothing, it will continue like that for the next 60 years. So we say we probably want to do something, especially God has put us in that situation and directed us. That's more or less it. So that's how, at that time there was no Starfish. You don't need foundation to do good works. To help people, you don't need that. So we started to build the first hostel. We decided if we build a hostel next to the school, because they're so far away from each other, from the school to walk, they can go to school every day. So that's how it all started. But we say if we do this, and then there's more to do without a legal platform. When we get older and retire and really go back kampong,
Yeah.
this whole thing will collapse.
Yes.
So then we started Starfish.
Mm.
So Starfish was officially formed 10 years ago. So it's still very young. As a foundation, we're very young. And if you take away the 2 years in pandemic, during pandemic, 2 years, it's only 8 years old, really, effectively. So, but God have helped us to do quite a lot of things. So let's continue. Who is Starfish? Why Starfish? Have you heard of the Starfish story before?
Yes.
You have, a lot of people have. Anybody who need me to repeat the Starfish story?
It's good.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Starfish.
Yeah.
But we actually adopted the name Starfish because it's easy for children to remember, because we are doing education, children's work. So for children to remember, Starfish easy. Any other names is more complicated. So we adopted the name, but then we adopted the story about Starfish. Starfish story is about a young boy, a young girl walking along the beach, and the night before there had been a huge storm, washed a lot of starfish onto the shore, and she was picking up one by one and throw them back into the sea. An old man on the other way coming, walking towards her and say, "Little girl, what are you doing?" She said, "I'm throwing starfish back into the sea." So, "Oh, you can't save them all." But she picked up another one and throw it back into the sea and said, "It mattered to this one." And yet she picked up another one and said, "It mattered to this one." And so our story is that we can't save all of them. She can't save all the starfish, but she can save some. We are not trying to save all of Malaysia or all of Sabah. We are able to help one community, one family. That's what we want to do. If we can do more than two, great. We can do a lot more, wonderful. If we got a lot more help, I'm sure we can do a lot more. That's the Starfish story. So we were, it's not just Starfish, it's just a group of friends, mostly Christian friends that we know. Some are university friends. We said, "Look, let's do something." And we formed a group. We started and get it registered under Starfish Malaysia Foundation. Mainly in East Malaysia. Okay, but at this stage, mainly in Sabah. We have another work in Sarawak, which has grown as big as Starfish or even bigger now. So they are on their own. Okay, what do we do? I say the 3 E's. Educate the young ones, the indigenous, elevate the income, they're always very poor, the indigenous people, and hopefully provide economic empowerment to them as well, to do some sort of business entrepreneurship. These are the 3 aims, of Starfish. Sorry, wrong way. So one of the earliest projects we have done in 2014-15 was to build this suspension bridge across the river, Sugut River in Ranau. A bridge. This is the river. This is low. There's no tide. It's the mountain river. It's mountainous near Mount Kinabalu, only a few kilometers from Mount Kinabalu. These are some of the pylon of the bridge that has collapsed twice, 2 lots. They were built but collapsed. And we saw when we want to cross to the other side, we saw these children, primary school children, and sampan going across because there was no bridge, no suspension bridge. And the other side of the river live about 600 villages, 600 people. And this side is school, so they cross this river every day. And because it's a mountain river, if it heavy rains in the mountains, within minutes or even half an hour, the river can rise 40 feet high suddenly. So this is like, it's really calm already. So very easy, these are normal. But one day, after the children had gone to school, and then during the morning it rained very hard. By lunchtime, the river has come up, and they want to cross back, and the river is flowing so fast that the boat capsized,
Oh, yeah.
and 2 of the girls were drowned. And we heard the story, and we still see this going on because the old bridge has already collapsed. So we say, oh, this is in this days and age, we shouldn't risk 30 odd children every day, twice a day, crossing the river like that. So maybe we can do something. So this was the first project we embarked on. And this is the area of where the river, the area is near Mount Kinabalu Park. So we decided we'll build a bridge and build a good one, hopefully. And this bridge, the pylon, this is one of the pylons, is 5-story high. Built 5-story building, 45 feet high, the 5-story. And to get there, the excavator took 2 days because the bridge only 3-ton bridge. This is a 20-ton excavator. So every bridge they cross, the excavator had to come down, crawl somewhere, then cross the river by itself, and then climb up again. Yeah. Dennis can explain the story a lot better than me. Sure. But we managed to build it. It took a while, and this is the completion of the bridge. We call Jabatan Harapan. Nothing to do with Pati Harapan. This was before Pati Harapan. But this Harapan is the hope that there's no more drowning in this place. And sure enough, there has since 2015, when the bridge was built, there had never been any more drowning. And it's used by, at first I say 600, now they say more than 1,000 people, because other villages use the bridge as well.
Oh, okay, that's good.
There's a story about this as well. When we were building the bridge was completed in June 2015. If you remember, Sabah earthquake, major earthquake was in June 2015. 1 week after it was completed, earthquake struck.
Oh no.
Epicenter is less than 10 kilometers away.
Oh.
And I was panicking. I was in West Malaysia client, and I called, and the phone was down, everything was down. I said, "Oh, drive there and go and see where the bridge collapsed or not. Just build only, cost a lot of money to build." But thank God, nothing was damaged. Everything withstand the quake. So it was well tested. So that was the bridge across. It was very, very dry. You can see the houses around there.
Yes.
600 of them this side. And this was the bridge that's recently been upgraded.
That's good.
So that this is the river a little bit higher, but not bad. It's the children crossing the bridge nowadays. No need to go by sampan.
Yes.
Say it. And this is the most recent one just taken 2 months ago. So nice bridge for them to cross. And
Nice
there's
and
a story about why the bridge has to be a motorbike can go across. And one specific request, they say the pylon must be 1.5 meters apart, so that when they have to carry the coffin, they can carry across. With the sampan, they had a lot of problem with the coffin. They told me, so I said, okay, we make it wide enough for motorbike, 2 motorbikes.
Oh wow.
And most important is the coffin.
Yes.
Jimmy,
Okay.
Who is maintaining the the bridge now? Is the government maintaining it?
No, we got the Ketua Kampung there to be maintaining it. Yeah. But the upgrading, it was wooden plank,
Yeah.
upgraded to metal.
Metal.
And now it's much better. Wooden plank after a while it breaks. You got motorbike on it. The YB sponsored this upgrading part.
Oh.
The rest is still the same. This cable, the 2 cables, they are over 800 feet long. And they're one pre-stage single cable, one
Wow.
across. And I don't know how they managed to get it across the river with one excavator. And how did they put it up the 45 feet pylon? I also don't know how. But they managed to do it. No helicopter, no nothing.
Wow.
So it's good.
That's
So after we finished the bridge, we also did a project roselle farming with them. I won't go into the detail of this. We had dialogue with them. After they have seen the roselle, we actually asked them to grow the roselle. We buy the roselle back from them. We come and pick up from them, and we managed to make them into roselle enzyme. This is the product. We also dry them and make them into roselle tea. Okay. All right. That project have a lot of story to tell, but I won't go into that today because otherwise you'll be here till 6 o'clock. So just concentrate on education. Our aim number one, education. Education one, educate the young. That's our aim. Education 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We also have 5 hostels. That's why. Why hostel ministry? Why we educate, do the education part? Because primary school, as young as 7 years old, primary 1, have to walk 2-3 hours each way to go to school. And when it rains, they don't go to school. Otherwise, they end up all soaking wet by the time they go. And so the attendance is very low. 35% is an average attendance. So that's why a lot do not finish primary 6. And more than 90% drop out from certain kampong. Especially the further you are, the more heavily drop out. Starfish has 5 hostels. 2 of them are primary school hostels, and 3 of them are secondary school hostels. And the number behind each hostel name, each hostel is the name of a flower after the name: jasmine, lily, marigold, rose, sunflower. But the figures they is the capacity of that hostel. So the total combined capacity is 334. Now we have around 180 to 200 children. We still have capacity growth. I think when another hostel in Hostel Marigold, secondary school hostel 64, it will increase to higher when we finish the boys' dorm. It's nearly finished now, just the tiling to complete. So by the time we go back, hopefully they will finish. They will increase the capacity. Starfish, all the hostel Starfish is within that circle. This is the circle which World Bank report 2012, you can Google it, report that 40% of the poorest people in whole Malaysia lives in that circle. So Sabah is not a big population, and yet 40% of the poorest people in whole Malaysia, not just the whole Sabah, whole Malaysia lives there. So that's why people ask, why you choose there? That's a very good reason for us. Because the poorest need our help, not KK, the far away. In fact, the furthest one, this is the location of the hostel. So the 2 tips, Kudat tip and Pitas tip. You see that? The 2 tips, the Kudat, and the other side is the Pitas tip. Pitas, this side is the Sulu Sea, the other side is the South China Sea. So Pitas had tip of Pitas, tip of Borneo is in Kudat. You see the line there. In fact, for one time we went there, we can see 2 colors. One is dark color, one is light color. The sea, you can see that. And that's where all the poorest people live. From the nearest hostel is near the Kota Marudu, from Kota Kinabalu or KK, 2.5 hours drive by car, Tassil Road. And the furthest one is Kampung Mengapon, which I say the other side is the Sulu Sea, near the Sulu Sea. That one is about 4.5 hours drive. The last 1 hour or 45 minutes is all stone and muddy road, not zero. Still. So I'll give you some idea with some before and after photo, before we do anything and after we did. This was one of the hostels that we helped to renovate and look after. It was ready to close actually, and that's there were 15 children living there at the time when we saw. Only 1 toilet, 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen, and then the quarters there for the wrong way. So after we just did a little bit of renovation and painting, and it looks a lot better already. And we, of course, cement and concrete area. Otherwise, it was just muddy. And then the bed, we changed all the bed, the new bed, put the lino on the floor. A bit crowded, but it's okay, better than much else. Yeah, new dorm. This is another hostel. This is near Buddha. You can see the painting on the walls. Oh, actually, it was termite infested.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all falling apart actually when we took over the hill. And this was after we renovated the whole thing. Looked like a school, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's was my first impression. That's how it looked. And inside, it was like this.
Oh.
Okay, it's quite poor condition.
Yeah.
Almost refugee condition.
Yeah.
This was after we finished. So we can do homestay, they say. This is another primary school hostel we built from scratch. This is the 101, I think, that you really and hope to have secret their decision. Yeah. You want to ask something? We actually we want to buy a land. Behind the bamboo is the school.
Oh, right.
Behind the bamboo is the river. Across the river is the school. So it's very fast.
Close by,
Yeah, small stream, not river, small stream, mountain stream. When it's raining, you go water. No raining, no, you walk across. And we wanted to buy land to build the hostel. And then we decided, I think about it carefully, we can buy, although we can't get a title, a lot of land don't have title, they just have what they call LA, land applied for, but never got the title. It costs money for them to have title, and some of them are CSR, customary
native
title like NCL land. So, but we end up, instead of buying it, I end up renting it. Rent it for 30 years. They want to sell for, but very cheap, the land there are very cheap. 15,000 ringgit to buy the land, 3/4 acres. I said, okay, well, I pay you 15,000 as if I buy, but I only want to rent for 30 years. After 30 years, the land go back to you. I told the landowner, I said, you need to keep your land, don't sell. Because when your children grow up, they need land to build house. So if you sell, no more land. So I'll give it back to you after 30 years. I reckon if in 30 years, we still need to do this, then we fail miserably. So, yeah.
And you didn't use the whole piece of land too?
We didn't use all. Well, the other part they want to use, no problem. We only, about half an acre we use. Since some of the children in that primary school, I think they're having a visitor with birthday celebration with them. So, and this is secondary school, the Marigold Secondary School hostel, about 50 of them. So these are the bigger. There's another one. This is in Sekwati, near Buddha. These bags are donated by Astro Casse. They have a CSR arm, a foundation, it's called Astro Casse. They donate 200 bags to us. So every student can have one. And the bags has everything. Stationery, they have
That's good.
water bottle, even vitamins. It's very good. So yeah, we just want to share some testimony now. I can go into a lot of details, but just I selected 2 testimonies. The SPM result, Form 5 result in June 2000 last year. After 10 years, before that we hardly get people who were more than 1 or 2 A's. After 10 years, we got 2 of them score 8 A's. 9 A's is about the maximum you go for. Some have 10 A's, but on average, 8 A's is considered very
Very
good.
good, yeah.
So 2 of them were 8 A's, and 2 were 6 A's. These 2 were actually disappointed. They are in science stream. Science streams are harder to score. So, but, and 1 4 A's and so on. But no one failed in any subject, which
That's
we
good.
thought was the best result we ever achieved in 10 years.
Mm.
And 2 of them, 8 A's, are selected by the government to, they want to be teachers. So I told them, I spoke to them and said, you can actually choose something else. A teacher is very good, nothing wrong with a teacher. But you can, how about lawyer? I said, no. I want to be a teacher. Ever since I was young, I didn't want to be a teacher. I said, okay, in that case, settle. No need to persuade to do anything else.
Are they ones from primary to secondary, or they are halfway going to secondary? Like-
Some of them are halfway, some of them are from. But we only been there 10 years. So from primary 6 plus another 5 is basically 11 years to complete. So we've been, some of them, most of them would be halfway. Came in Form 1, finished in Form 5. So out of these 2 want to be teachers, one studying to be an engineer, one of the 6 A science student in oil and gas, and another boy want to be a medical doctor. He's actually doing matriculation to finish to go into university.
That's good.
These are the 6 A's and the 8 A's.
Wow.
8 A's, 6 A's. She's a teacher, he want to be a doctor. Or one final testimony about a 9-year-old boy. His name is Habron. He came to us really skinny, small size for 9 years old, starting primary 3. Primary 7 years old, primary 1, 8 years old, 9 years old, starting primary 3. And he came to us, like I say, very malnutrition, and his father and mother were not at home. He lives with his uncle, related there. His mother and father worked in Johor Bahru at that time. And the younger uncle, has 4 children. And so he is another extra mouth to feed, so he didn't get much food. But when he came to us, he was bottom of the class. His position was 37 out of 37. His average attendance is expected about 35%. So if you look at somebody like that, you say, wow, this is tough. We say, never mind, just let him. So, but his attendance go from 35% to 100%. Because the school so near, just hop over and go. And just doing that, his position slowly improved. His marks improved. And his growth also improved. Every time he goes back to kampong, come back, he has worms. He has head lice. So we had to treat them every time. But after a while, he had done well. And he finished his primary 6. If we had not helped him, chances that he would not finish primary 6. He finished primary 6, go to Form 1, finish his Form 5, and this is him today.
Wow.
And he's going to finish his diploma in pharmacy.
Wow. Really good.
So this, and I asked the warden there, how many of Habrons are there in our hostel? He said, oh, more than 10. More than 10 like that, not just one. I just use one example because I know this boy. Because he doesn't want to go home. During school holiday, everybody go home. He said, I want to stay with the warden because at home he's on his own. So yeah, Starfish Malaysia Foundation was recognized and a winner of the Star. The Golden Heart Award, but
Gamuda.
actually by Star Media, Star Newspaper. It's a nationwide competition. Out of 731 nominees, we are one of the 10 winners. So first time we ever get any recognition. So we were very proud of this. Thank you. That's it. So hopefully got time for question and answers. And if it's too hard, I'll pass it to.
What are the needs there that you want people to be able to assist? Like something that you
Everything.
like what are some of the ways that we can try to assist? Maybe you can give them some ideas.
We helping the children academically is our main aim, education. So three of the subjects which, don't know why, Chinese, Malaysian excel if they are weakest. English, maths and science. They are weak. So if you can teach English, you can, or maths or science, most welcome to help us. And since the pandemic, we try very hard to have online tuition. So we're almost 100% online now, but one more hostel hopefully end of this trip when we go back to get Starlink as well to get online tuition. So you can, this one help, and you can always sponsor any one of them, children.
So sponsoring is one.
Yeah, sponsoring. You can sponsor 10, you don't want to sponsor one. But one is good. It costs us about $350 to $400 ringgit per month to feed, to keep one on average. Yeah. At first I thought that younger primary school will cost less. No, yeah, just as they eat just as much as the
Probably
older
eat
one.
more.
I was surprised. Yeah.
So
So
350 ringgit
$350 per month per
per
child.
month.
And what else? Volunteer. One of the things that we really need help on. If you are very good in IT, please put a hand up. I'm not good. In fact, I could do this because I copied.
Well, there was trial and error. You did it.
Yeah, I'm not good in IT. Even our website need updating regularly so that the link and all this sort of thing. I have no idea. So
We have donors like in all forms, We just want to share a story with you about this man, a businessman in KK. He has such a big heart. He sponsors all the chicken and the eggs that our hostel need. He has been doing it for at least more than 5 years. And every week we will get the eggs and the chicken delivered, to our store so that it can be distributed to our hostel. And yeah, this man has not only given chicken and eggs, but he has also from time to time donated so much. Is that your?
well, he sponsored the Starlink.
The Starlink, which is the Wi-Fi, in the rural area where we can't get Wi-Fi. He gave us this Starlink, and now they can have access to the internet.
You know Starlink? Elon Musk is the one who actually put the Starlink using satellite thing. So you don't need internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you do need electricity. Or it has solar, it also can. So it's very good. It's 5G. So the furthest one get the best internet coverage. Even the TM Unify, which is the telecom, not as good. Cannot compare. But there's an annual, monthly subscription that the sponsor hopefully can help us with. So, many ways. Yesterday I received an email from our website. The 2 girls want to volunteer for a whole week. What they can do? They have 7 days. They want to travel to Sabah. I want to help volunteers. So tell me what. I haven't replied. Only last night came through. I said, what can we do? 7 days. I'm sure they are university students. So they just want to. So young people nowadays do that. So many, not just one. But a lot of old people also doing that. One retired lady, teacher, that she want to come and also help us as well. From Sydney. But was born in. No, there's another lady. Next year she will she's doing her master degree. She retired doing master degree, and she will have time next year to come over. Born in Malaysia, but brought up in Australia. I think must be the parents was in the army or something. She got, she goes back to regular basis, and she's heard what we're doing. She wants to volunteer. So we have to find a way to volunteer.
We were in KK in June, as I say. So I usually when I go back, I always buy chocolate for my family in Penang, So we stopped by a KK first, you see. So when we visited the hostel, the girls and the boys were so, you can't help but lovable. All in love with them. And we started giving up our Tim Tams and our mint chocolates. And they were so inquisitive. They were wanting to know what's happening, how they knew I was from Malaysia, from Penang, and migrated, so we explained everything. But they were so inquisitive, they're so wanting to expand, there's so much, even a little conversation like that, with God's help, I'm sure we are touching them in so many different ways. And now there is a critical mass with 5 hostels. You can segregate, like Center 1 mass. You can organize among 5 hostels, maybe 1 student there. And then people are zooming in from West Malaysia, from all over the world to teach them. So that's the program that I'll be signing up to, because it's something that I can teach quite easily over Zoom. So there are many different ways, but I think nothing replaces going there, seeing them, seeing how we lie and Jimmy's heart, is for these children. I think it is just amazing. It is, and there's so, as Jimmy says, there's so much need there. Every little thing that you do, it will touch them in wondrous ways. And that's why when I went there, I was just so amazed at the 2 of you. They gave up their retirement 14 years ago I don't know what gave them that heart to say, I want to do charity in Malaysia. I don't know. But as Jimmy says, it's God-led. And all he wanted to do was to do, and he just, find his way in KK. And that, I think, is something that, we really thankful for, and we can see God's love in them for the children. And when Jimmy goes there, he doesn't just wear in suit and tie and go there. He wears in shorts and, bring all his gears around. And when there's a leak in the roof, there's no tradesman around. He is him trying, and I say, hey, this is not a job for a 60-year-old man or 70-year-old, but he dirties his hand, he just goes there and does what he can. And that's what touched me when I'm
We
there.
all can actually.
Yeah.
Not Jimmy can. We all can.
What are the ethnic groups of these children then?
Rungus, but some Kadazan, there are 40-something tribes in Sabah, more than Sarawak. I know you're from Sarawak, but I was very confused. So many minor groups, and they all, I thought the language was similar. No, they're all different.
Oh.
Is the language similar to Malay, or is it completely different?
Some words probably similar, but then certain constructions, even like Iban and Kenya, the certain constructions are completely different. They may share some root words.
They have common words,
Yeah.
but not when they speak, a lot of them don't understand.
And then are they like Muslim background or
No,
something?
all
Yeah.
that region, I would say previously were all Christian, but slowly, the government has actually Islamized or whatever you call it. But in the school, if you are Muslim, you are treated a bit different. School has hostel, but very limited. a school say 1,000 children, they may have 150 places for. So those who can go in there, you must go to Islamic study during, and it's compulsory. If you don't, and you must pass also. So it's one way of Islamic. If you fail, you're out. So, but some of the Christian parents prefer they don't have to do that, and some of the children don't want to do that also. So if they can read outside in the shop somewhere, but they're expensive, they're not cheap. So this alternative is like halfway for them, which they actually can pay nothing, or the minimum, the maximum they pay is 50 ringgit a day, a month. We ask them to contribute, not because we can't afford the 50 ringgit, no. We want them to commit that you want to stay. You don't, if it's free, they go and come as they please. But if they have to pay, if they can't pay 50 ringgit, it's okay. How much can they contribute? 10 ringgit, that's also good. That's like, we call it herd money. And they just can't. The problem is, if it's free, they don't look after. If there is a little bit of herd money, they would take care. In fact, if they can't pay 10 ringgit, I say that's fine. Come and do gotong royong when we have to cut the grass. That's also, we also consider payment. Even if you cannot do that, that's okay. If you have extra banana, extra papaya, bring that we consider as payment. So there's no excuse actually. Yeah, so we want some commitment.
And ownership also.
Ownership
maybe,
also.
like the parents have some ownership in helping to, that they are looking after their children and educating them.
We sometimes think that money is the main thing that's needed, but after talking to Jimmy, after knowing what they're doing, sometimes when we take our eyes off money and we look at how we can touch lives and show God's love, God's providence is just amazing. And without sort of going into disclosing things that I know about Jimmy, that's how God has amply blessed them with. The more they give, the more they have to give. And that's, I think just God's way of, showing and blessing us with. So I think that's just one thing that I learned from them is, we just got to get our eyes off the things that we think are important to us, but just try to look at His Word and, try to share God's love with those, especially with those that need so much from us, that there's so little that we can do, and yet they can benefit so much, 2 hours a week tuition, that's all it takes for me. But I know that 2 hours that I spend with the kids will be mean so much to them. And it's just like teaching maths, which is something I can do quite easily. So I just think that it is. And I have to thank Jimmy and WeLife for that, because they have always showed us that, just keep our sights up and not try to look at things that we worry about every day. Yeah, I think your story about this friend of ours in daycare, in aged care, and you said just show him the love, and that's all I did. And ever since then, my head is so clear, so easy. I don't have to worry about anything. Just make sure. I'm a guardian to a friend who is in aged care. He's 88 years old, and long story short is there was this lady who was working there, trying to tell him I love him and all that. I want to marry you and all that, And then I was relating that to Jimmy and Willie and saying, oh, maybe I should step in. And then Jimmy says, if he enjoys it, don't take that away from him. You know what I mean? And ever since I've taken that advice, I felt that, I'm not doing it for me or him. I'm not doing it for anybody, but for my friend. And if he enjoys it, if this lady who works there keeps telling him, I love you, but I said, please don't say I want to marry you. I think that's a bit stepping over the line. So, and that has really, sort of showed me that, sometimes we think in our own world, we should think in terms of, how the third person. Anyway, thanks for that.
I said it would be better.
So if let's say anyone here or you would like to say contribute or support, how would we do that?
Take my card. I'll
Yeah.
give you the detail. In fact, you can go into our website. Our website is our card as well. Or you can message me. I can give you more details.
The other thing is, I think, if you have regular newsletters about what's going on, maybe you can share with a few of us, or we can put our names down and you can.
Yes, we can update you.
Yeah.
Well, we get almost every week we get an update. The Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the way.
Yeah, Starfish. Facebook.
Yeah, I think today is just trying to understand and how God worked in Jimmy and Reli's lives, and what we can learn from it, and how we can share in their journey, because I certainly and Sukek, we were both so touched by it that we just say, like you, we can't walk away. We have to continue this journey. Now we've made the trip to KK. I'm sure it won't be our last. Because we've been to KK, we climbed the mountain, we've seen everything about KK, I'm not going back again, But now that we've seen what's happening there, it's just one of those things that, I think we were drawn to it, just like they were. So, I'm really so pleased that you all have shared this time. I'd say, any more questions? There are some cakes that our wives, Christine and Silgek and Rila have made, so yeah, I would like to. And Raymond, sorry, and Raymond as well.
Or Eunice.
And Eunice, so yeah, just come and we can
Enjoy
continue
the
this
coffee tea.
conversation over afternoon tea.
Maybe you got any questions that you want to ask personally to Jimmy or Eli?
Yeah, just privately you can ask.
The studies
Yeah,
are they based
just-
on the national syllabus? Like
The study,
using
yes,
the-
yes.
Yeah, so they
National schools.
So the maths and science will be in Bahasa Malaysia.
Yes.
I think-
We are
I think-
we are embarking on a project. Hopefully, will change that. For
To
the-
have it in English.
We try to influence the Sabah. Just now I mentioned that we also have worked in Sarawak, and through the work in Sarawak, we have influenced Sarawak education department to adopt English, which they already do, and then the STEM program. STEM as in STEM,
Oh.
Science, Technology, English and Maths. They have adopted that, and this connection, which I'm the director of, will come to Sabah and try to influence the Sabah State Education Department to do the same.
Push it.
It's slightly slower than Sarawak.
Yeah, so Sarawak actually adopted that language. Wow. In fact, the STEM program, there's one professor from UNIMAS, he has retired, he taken voluntary early retirement to head this program in Sarawak under Lighthouse. If you go to Lighthouse of Hope, Sarawak Berhad, that's the program. We started Lighthouse Kapit many years ago, and that's where it came from. And they have influence in the education department. They have produced this Professor Hua Ti Yong. I always remember, very easy to remember his boy's name and surname. Hua Ti Yong. And his wife is a senior chemistry lecturer also in the university. And they have both taken this on. And some of the results he has produced, and I think I shared with Hong, that day when the result came out, he has a very good in teaching maths. He has method of teaching maths so good that a student, SPM student, with only 4 marks in maths came to him. He took up the challenge to on one-to-one tuition me. And by the time 6 months later, after he very set for his SPM, he got 8 minus
Wow.
within 6 months. I don't know how to teach any maths. My maths, yeah, okay, but not that great. But,
Never count money.
so we need somebody like that to help us.
Yeah.
And if the education department sees that, I'm sure they say, we also want some of this.
Yeah.
Can you teach our teachers, which we are doing, which they are doing now in Sarawak. They have teachers training camps. Professor Hua Tiong is actually leading that and teaching them. In fact, he is actually making what they call teaching aids. Some of the teaching aids are just games. He explained to me, he said, snake and ladder games,
Yes.
teach math. So how can you teach math with snake and ladder games? He said, each time you throw a dice, instead of throwing a dice, you pick up a card. The card say 3 plus 2. If you got it right, you go up. If not, you go down. So they say when the boys do that, within few days, they know all how to do math already.
They enjoy the game.
Yeah, because they want to win. So, wow, that simple but yet very effective for them.
Sure.
Try to ask them to memorize the timetable. Very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, until they say formula. teach them until formula. But with the games, within few days they memorize it all.
That's good. That's
That's
wonderful.
all the basic.
Yeah. Never think about games.
Yes, it's games. And this is, well, this guy is really good. So he's going to help us.
Okay.
In June, we will offer this property to Starfish for 10 years. 3.8 of an acre with a bungalow and a warehouse. The warehouse need to renovate, we need to replace the roof and everything else. But we can use this facility for $89 a month, $1 per month for the next 10 years for very little. So we want to use this facility to do that. It's still in planning stage. We signed the agreement already, but 89 we didn't want to sign quickly before he gives to somebody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still in the pipeline. So if you want to say, this is the project I want to do, get my card, call me, and message me. I'm sure we will find a job for you to do. Lots.
Okay, all right. Just want to say thank you, Jimmy and Mila, for sharing your story with us. It's time for some makan.
Coffee, tea. Yep.